A 1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, hello.
Rock Talk back on the dial, traveling at a speed at 33 1/3 RPMs, where the vinyl will bring you to your preferred destination. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Ferris Kennedy, and in the booth beside me, a man that remembers hanging out with Vic Tayback from the show Alice.
Oh, yeah. Lots of pleasant memories with the Vic Meister, Dr. Ian Clark.
And here we go again with another cultural reference that Ian's wondering, where does he get this stuff?
He's a little older than I thought.
Yeah, a gentle soul, as you like to call it. Well, today we have a show that I think you're going to be happy that we have on the dock.
Well, I know it's close to your heart.
Very close to my heart. Ladies and gentlemen, today we are going to be talking about Aerosmith. Yes.
Sure.
Unfortunately, the time has come. And I like to title this one, Aerosmith, 54 years and no more counting.
Yeah, nice.
Aerosmith, 54 years and no more counting. They made a curtain call. Normally, whenever I do these articles, there is always and counting to follow. Like my Rolling Stones article before, it was 60 years and counting. With Aerosmith, unfortunately, there is no more counting. Once labeled as America's greatest rock and roll band, like the Dallas Cowboys of the NFL being labeled as America's team, they'll be playing for many more seasons to come. And when Aerosmith walked off the stage at the UBS Arena in Elmont, New York on September 9th, 2023, they had no idea their touring life had just come to an end. As a fan of the band, being able to see them live in 1994 for their first tour of Eat the Rich, I, for one, thought they were going to be the Rolling Stones 2.0. I was optimistic that they will carry on, do another Vegas residency, and then yours truly would be happy to see them in Las Vegas a few more times. When the band announced that their longtime drummer, who is their second drummer, hold on, wait, what? Yeah, that's correct. Steven Tyler was the original drummer, with Joe Perry to form a power trio with bassist Tom Hamilton. They expanded to a quartet, adding a second guitarist by the name of Ray Tabano. He was quickly replaced by Brad Whitford, former member of Earth Incorporated, or Earth Inc., I guess. With the addition of drummer Joey Kramer, Tyler then became the full-time lead singer. When it was announced that Joey could not do the final Peace Out tour due to health issues, it finally hit me that the end is near. Seeing Joe Perry, who survived a stroke a few years back, looking a little frail lately, and that Steven Tyler is on vocal rest, which became a permanent vacation, that wrong turn at Albuquerque will be its destination. There is no detour for the next concert tour. The final concert ever for the boys of Beantown was in Elmont, New York on September 9th, 2023. It was not in Cleveland, Ohio, which would have been fitting that the last stop is home to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, a home that they got the keys to in 2001, where they belong. And they were supposed to walk this way with Mama King and the dude who looks like a lady. They were supposed to get crazy with the same old song and dance, while everyone was going to find love in an elevator. And how amazing would it have been that a year of the two taking a break, they were back in the saddle launching their Sweet Emotion tour. Well, if that was the case, please write me a letter. Unfortunately, it wasn't meant to be on August 2nd, 2024. Someone did write me a letter. That was the band, who addressed all Aerosmith fans who always kept their wings roughly 6 weeks before they were scheduled to return to touring. Aerosmith announced they would retire from the road for good. They quote, "Steven's voice is an instrument like no other. The band noted in their message to fans, "We've seen him struggling despite having the best medical team by his side. Sadly, it is clear that a full recovery from his vocal injury is not possible. We have made a heartbreaking and difficult but necessary decision as a band of brothers to retire from the touring stage." The announcement ended Aerosmith's powerful history of performance spanning more than 50 years. Still, though the bad boys from Boston may not have ended things in the way they'd hope, their sudden retirement did nothing to dampen a legacy which remains eternal. With this news and confirmation, reality has sunk in for me and many Aerosmith fans. I am crying with a hole in my soul, because now I must dream on for them to perform again. Yes, these are song titles of the band's smash hits, but they are also the emotions I feel knowing that one of the greatest bands of my era has come to an end. The memories for me will be their live performance I attended in 1994, the music awards, their songs, their videos, their albums, and their legacy. Now, how did Aerosmith's final concert end? After briefly exiting the stage following their 16th song of the night, Toys in the Attic, Aerosmith returned for an encore. The band rocked through renditions of two of their biggest hits, Dream On and Walk This Way, the latter of which featured a piece of Led Zeppelin's Whole Lotta Love, mixed in for good measure.
Nice.
As fate would have it, the final song of the night wasn't even an Aerosmith track. The group performed Happy Birthday to You and brought out a giant chocolate cake to celebrate guitarist Joe Perry, whose 73rd birthday was the following day. I'm happy for them and for all they've accomplished. I am also sad that we must bid farewell to a band that I grew up to. I discovered the band in the 80s. To me, the hit Walk This Way was always an Aerosmith Run DMC collaboration. My first Aerosmith album I bought was Pump on a cassette, and my father said to me, "Who are you listening to?" I answered, "Dad, it's Aerosmith. They are too new for you." He laughed and corrected me they were around in the 70s.
True.
That day I learned that Aerosmith probably knew the Beatles and the Rolling Stones.
Easy.
So, who is Aerosmith? One of the most popular hard rock bands of the 70s, setting the style and sound of hard rock and heavy metal for the next 2 decades with their raunchy, bluesy swagger. The Boston-based quintet found middle ground between the menace of the Rolling Stones and the campy, sleazy flamboyance of New York Dolls, developing a lean, dirty riff-oriented boogie that was loose and swinging and as hard as a diamond. The band was formed in 1970 in Boston, Massachusetts. Interesting fact that Steven Tyler and Joey Kramer went to the same school and met again at Woodstock, hence the relationship of one another forming a band. After playing clubs in the Massachusetts and New York areas for 2 years, the group landed a record contract with Columbia in 1972. Aerosmith's self-titled debut album was released in the fall of '73, climbing to number 166. Dream On was released as their first single, and it was a minor hit, reaching number 59. The next year, the band built a fan base by touring America, supporting groups as diverse as the Kinks, Mahavishnu Orchestra, Sha Na Na, and Mott the Hoople. The performance of Get Your Wings, '74, the group's second album, and the first produced by Jack Douglas, benefited from their constant touring, spending a total of 86 weeks on the chart. Group members, well, we got Brad Winford, who is actually from Winchester, Massachusetts, Joey Perry, who's from Lawrence, Massachusetts, Joey Kramer from New York, New York, Steve Tyler from Yonkers, New York, Tom Hamilton from Colorado Springs, Jimmy Crespo from Brooklyn, New York, Rick Dufay from Paris, France, and Ray Tabano from the Bronx. Isn't that interesting?
Are you saying all those guys are in the band at once?
I think it's when I read.
Yeah, they
like,
must have rolled it or something.
They rolled it around, but those, imagine, like from France.
No, because that's like what you mentioned, like 6 names or something.
That's right. Now, who saved Aerosmith? Now, Ian, you've always agreed with me on this one. From '79 to '85, things were very quiet. Aerosmith was not relevant.
No.
Were they broken up on a break, or did they just dream on? But in 1986...
No, they were crying.
But in 1986, Tyler and Perry appeared on Run DMC's cover of Walk This Way. Along with appearing in the video Walk This Way, it became a hit, reaching number 4 and receiving saturation airplay on MTV. Walk This Way set the stage for the band's full-scale effort of a comeback. The Bruce Fairbairn produced Permanent Vacation in 1987. As the story goes, Run DMC revived Aerosmith's career with 3 back-to-back-to-back albums in Permanent Vacation, Pump, and Get a Grip. With those solid albums, this is how I'll always remember Aerosmith. I want to thank the boys of Beantown for producing some amazing music. And to the band, I want to say, take care and not goodbye, as goodbyes are forever. And Ian, for years during the podcast, you've always stood behind me and said, 100% correct, because at one point in time you said they just were not cool.
They were uncool, and I saw Aerosmith, I'm going to say about 1980, early 80s in Toronto, and I thought they were terrible. Perry, the Toxic Twins, Perry and Steve were just... They were just drugged out. I thought the band, it was over for them. And somehow they came out of this swan dive. And like you said, I think Run DMC reinvigorated them. And they became relevant again. But you're right, they were not cool. It wasn't cool to like Aerosmith.
Here's something that's pretty interesting. They had quite a few albums. So albums that are ranked of Aerosmith from worst to the best.
Okay.
You ready for some of these titles?
Sure.
Number 15, Just Push Play.
You say number 15 or 50?
15.
Oh, God, I had a stroke for a second. 50? I think these guys did like 2 albums a year. Good Lord.
Well, no, yeah, they've been around for 50 years. They did 2 albums. That'd be 100 albums. That's a lot of time. You don't have even one whole shelf to fit that vinyl. So, number 15, 1-5, Just Push Play. That was released in 2001. And Joe Perry had said that this was the unfocused Just Push Play. It was an example of how not to make an album.
Okay, well, all right. Anyone can do that.
I like the honesty. Number 14, they got Honkin' on Bobo, 2004. They said that this was Aerosmith return to their blues rock roots after the misguided Just Push Play. Well, listen, you did one notch better, okay?
Yeah, really. What year was that?
2004. So Just Push Play was 2001.
Yeah.
Honking on Bobo was 2004.
Yeah.
I have Just Push Play on CD. It's a funky pink. They got like this robot wearing a dress. It's weird. Then they got in 2012 Music from Another Dimension. This is Aerosmith's first album of original material since 2001. Just Push Play, because it didn't answer the question of where the group was headed. So they figured, let's make another banger of an album.
Yeah, really. So they know.
They know. Now we're getting a little bit more years that you're familiar with, Ian. Rockin' a Hard Place in 82.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been worse for Aerosmith, right? Joe Perry was gone and Brad Whitford soon followed him out the door.
I know.
That cover of Julie London's hit Cry Me a River didn't inspire much confidence either.
I know.
So you know this album?
Yeah, I thought it was over.
All right. Now, this album here, I don't mind it. Actually, I enjoy this album. I got it on vinyl. It's called 9 Lives. It's 1997. And I believe that was probably their last best album they did. In 1997.
97, eh?
Yeah, 97. I'm going with my generation here. So following a trio of multi-platinum mega hits, Aerosmith got rawer and considerably weirder on the laborious 9 Lives. So they got some ballads here, which are pretty good. Full Circle, Ain't That a Bitch, Crash, Pink, Falling in Love is Hard and Eves. That's like such a good song.
Yeah, there's some good songs that you went
They
over.
are. Pink. 77, Ian, this one here you might be a little bit more familiar with than I would. Draw the Line.
Yeah.
Okay. Obviously, if people notice the album artwork, it's black and white, and they're basically, the band is drawn out. They really made Steve Tyler's lips huge on
Well,
this one.
a guy named Hirschfeld who used to write for or do caricatures for the New Yorker. Very esteemed. He was called in to do the cover.
It was pretty cool, actually.
He really was.
1983. Now this is where this is the third of the back-to-back bangers. Get a Grip. It was such a great album. They followed the old adage, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And this is their third consecutive multi-platinum smash to basically songs like Eat the Rich, Fever, Gotta Love It, Crazy, Amazing.
Yeah, pretty strong.
Crying. It's strong. Done with Mirrors in 85. Not really familiar with it, Ian.
No, I don't know it.
You don't know it?
What, any hits on it?
Let the music do the talking.
In other words, no.
Oh, the hop?
I'll keep going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Permanent Vacation. Now, this is a banger. I like this album. This is their comeback, and it started with Done With Mirrors, they said. Well, I don't know about that. I think it started with Run DMC. Let's, this is the one with Ragdoll, Dude Looks Like a Lady, and I believe Angel is on this one, yeah.
Yeah, good stuff.
79, Night at the Ruts. Okay, I bought this album. I was lucky to find the 79 pressing, believe it or not, for $20. I was quite happy. It's in very good shape. Bone to Bone, Coley Island, Whitefish Boy. That's the only song I know.
Yeah, no.
Okay. Self-titled Aerosmith, 73. Ian?
Yeah, well, that Walk This Way, correct?
No, Walk This Way.
That was second album, wasn't it?
That was Toys in the Attic.
No, that late?
I think so.
I thought it was the second.
No, this one here was with Dream On.
Dream? Oh.
That's it. Dream
Okay.
On. That's number 5, so it's not bad. Number 4, now we're starting to get a little bit Pump. Pump was a good album.
Everybody knows it, yeah.
What It Takes, Genie's Got a Gun, Love in an Elevator.
Yeah.
Like, this is a banger.
Yeah, everybody knows that stuff.
Number 3, Get Your Wings. I'm not too familiar with it, but it's a Jack Douglas piece.
Don't know it.
No, it ain't.
No.
That was 74, Ian. Rock, 76.
Yeah, well, that's a famous album. What number is it?
2.
Oh.
It's their second best album. Yeah.
Okay.
And Ian, come on, you know what the best one is?
No, I don't know the title.
Well, in French, it's Les Jouets dans Grenier. It's Toys in the Attic.
Yeah.
That's the one Walk This Way.
I know that you like that.
And Sweet Emotion.
What year is that?
75.
Okay, so is that the second maybe album or third?
I think it's the second.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Walk This Way wasn't on the debut. And Walk This Way made them stars. So,
well, now we're gonna have the 20 Aerosmith songs, top 20. Here we go. Number 20, not 50, Ian. 20.
Yeah.
No surprise. That's what it's called.
Okay.
You know it?
No.
Nope. Let the music do the talking.
No.
Okay. Number 18, Crazy.
Oh yeah.
Okay. 17, I Don't Want to Miss a Thing.
Yeah.
That was good.
Good. Yeah.
16, Draw the Line.
No.
Sounds like a Johnny Cash one. I draw the line. 15, Dude Looks Like a Lady.
Oh yeah.
Number 14, No More, No More.
No.
Number 13, Last Child.
That rings a bell.
Yeah. Mama Kin, number 12.
Yeah,
That's everyone loves Mama Kin.
Yeah.
Number 11, Nobody's Fault.
Yep.
10, Seasons of Wither.
Not sure about it.
This one came off the album of, I guess they said it's from the album Get Your Wings.
Okay.
All right. Number 9, What It Takes.
Yeah.
Number 8, Toys in the Attic from self-titled Toys in the Attic.
Yeah.
Number 7, Love in the Elevator. Now we're starting to get a little bit more in my genre.
Good
here.
video too.
Very good video. Going Down.
Yeah.
Home Tonight, number 6.
I wouldn't have put it at 6, but okay.
Janie's Got a Gun, number 5.
Great song.
Back in the Saddle, number 4.
Great song. That should be number 4, but okay.
Number 3, Sweet Emotion. Number 2, Dream On.
Yeah, I mean, this is an all-time classic.
And the number 1 Aerosmith song, Ian, come on, you know which one it is.
Walk and Talk This Way?
Yes, sir!
Okay.
But they did the original one, not the remake.
Okay.
Now,
but it's a great song.
It is a great song. Now, before we carry on with some fun stuff, because this is not where we get it here, the question was many months ago, they always asked, does Aerosmith rank in your top 10 rock bands of all time? Now, Ian had provided me his list, and I got my list of top 10s.
I forget what I said, but okay.
I want me to refresh your memory, sir.
Okay, refresh my memory.
Now, remember, these could change at any given day.
I was going to say, ladies and germs, when I do these things for Mr. Kennedy, I always put the proviso on that if I wake up with a stomach cramp, there'll be different lists. Like it changes.
Now, this one has changed drastically, Ian, from the last time I remember doing this. But
Okay.
You are consistent with, I think, about 40% of them are always been consistent with you.
Okay.
Okay? No. You added some fresh ones here, and number 10 threw me off, but okay.
Okay.
So your first one you put is The Beatles.
Yeah.
Okay, duh. If anyone knows Ian and listens to the show, Ian's The Beatles. This one here, I was not surprised. Roxy Music.
Great band, eh?
Mm-hmm. Again, number 3, I'm not surprised. Blondie.
Blondie's is still touring.
You know, Deborah Harry, Clive Burke.
Yeah.
This one here, if you guys know Ian, rants and raves on how good this freaking album is, and it's about a bunch of guys from California on the cover petting sheep. Is it sheep?
I think it's goats.
Goats. The Beach Boys, and it's always about pet sounds.
Oh, yeah, boy. I go to Pet Sounds listening parties. Amazing.
Yeah. See, then we have The Doors again. No surprise there.
I mean, I'm like, yeah, it's not even worth discussing. What a great band.
Number 6, Ian always has the Banana album cover of Nico, Andy Warhol, The Velvet Underground.
What a great band, The Velvets, yeah.
And that album apparently is up there in the top. It's one of those top albums.
I know.
It's an essential, apparently.
It's an essential. Yeah, everybody knows it.
This one here, Ian, you threw me for a loop. Sam Cooke.
Sam Cooke, boy, what a great singer, what a great composer. Left way too early.
David Bowie, no shock there.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say about Bowie? Super influential.
The brilliant one, as Cosmo would call him.
Really, eh?
That's what he calls him, the brilliant one.
Yeah, I know.
I'm kind of surprised you threw these ones on here, but okay.
Sure.
The Monkees?
I've always loved the Monkees. I thought they were great entertainers. And I've always valued entertainment in rock, Mick Jagger, whoever it is, Roxy Music. Yeah, what a great entertainers they were. Pretty good band. They were okay as a band, but I love the entertainment.
And then number 10, Ian, you put Deep Purple.
Deep Purple represents to me what a hard-working rock band is, and Machine Head is like a gift from God. Like one of those albums where every song is great. And Ian Gillan's a great singer. Richie Blackmore's difficult, but he's a great guitar player. Like, I would highly recommend Machine Head for anyone. You don't have to be into heavier stuff.
No, it's a good album. That one and Deep Purple rocks.
In rock, yeah.
Now, on my top 10, I'm going to list out my band or names here, and Ian's going to be like, yeah, I'm not surprised. Sure. Number 1, I put Ozzy Osbourne to Prince of Darkness.
No, I'm shocked. I'm glad I'm sitting down.
If anyone follows the Serious Rock Talk Instagram or my personal Instagram, after
total obsession.
And Ozzy posts every second day. I kind of alternate accounts that way I can have one every day, just to make myself happy. It makes me feel good.
Sure.
Van Halen.
I'm not surprised. We probably agree halfway on that. I wouldn't have put them on my list, but pretty good band, yeah.
Led Zeppelin.
Oh yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I know.
They're a great band.
I think Jimmy Page is a god, but anyways.
Probably.
He is. Guns N' Roses?
Yeah, that's very you. I wouldn't, yeah.
Because I like Slash.
Yeah.
Nirvana?
Again, no surprise. I debated that one, but I'm just being honest with my heart,
Ian knows we've discussed this, and I still think I love them. The Rolling Stones?
Yeah, I mean... they've given me lots of pleasure over they're a great band.
Yeah, lots of pleasure until they started releasing music in the 80s. That's when Ian's like, that's it, I'm done.
Anything after Some Girls is over.
I also put on here, Ian, no surprise when I tell you this, Nickelback.
Yeah, you like Nickelback, but I still hang with you. It's amazing, yeah.
I love them. Number 8, I put Metallica.
Yeah, you're a Metallica fan.
Number 9, I did put AC/DC.
Yeah, great band.
And Ian, can you guess who I made the top 10 in my list?
Joan Jett.
Well, there is someone Italian in there. 2 Italians in this band.
Okay.
So, I put Aerosmith in my top 10. So, yes, they did make my top 10.
Okay, I got something for you.
All right.
You're always testing me. This is some Aerosmith trivia.
Oh, shoot. All right.
Okay. On which Aerosmith studio album would you find the track Rag Doll?
That would be Permanent Vacation.
That's right. What was the name of the band Steven Tyler formed in 1964?
Oh, shoot.
The Strangers.
Okay, yeah.
What member of the band came up with the name Aerosmith?
Oh, that was Joey Kramer.
Joey Kramer. Steven, you know this. Steven Tyler's birth name.
Oh, Steven Victor Tallarico.
You got it. Name the band Joe Perry and Tom Hamilton formed before Aerosmith.
Was it Earth Inc.?
Jam band. I didn't know that either. In which year did Aerosmith release their self-titled debut album?
73.
73. By which nickname were Steve Tyler and Joe Perry often called for their legendary intake of drugs?
The Toxic Twins.
Toxic Twins. On which Aerosmith studio album would you find the track "Lovin' an Elevator"?
Pump.
On which studio album would you find the tracks "Living on the Edge" and "Crying"?
Oh, that was Get a Grip.
Get a grip. What was the original title of Janie's Got a Gun? I didn't know this. This is pure trivia.
No, this one I don't know.
Danny's Got a Gun.
Really? I like Janie better.
I know. Which, you might know this, but you covered the album. Which Doors song was covered by Aerosmith for the soundtrack of the 1990 film Air America? And they performed it live. It's on YouTube.
Love Me.
Yeah,
Love Me.
that's it.
Love Me back.
Love Me 2 times.
Love Me 2 times.
Which American actress appeared in 3 music videos? Crying, Amazing, and Crazy.
Alicia Silverstone.
She sure did.
She still looks great.
Oh. What color did Aerosmith sing about in a 1997 single? What color?
Pink?
Pink. That's right. Very good.
Well, Ian, you're a fact kind of man.
There you go.
You like facts.
Sure.
So there's some Aerosmith facts.
Yep.
Reason for 2 different 9 Lives album covers. And this is funny because the original album art aroused the anger of some Hindus, apparently, who felt the artwork was taken from Hindu imagery altered by giving the dancing figure a cat's head was offensive.
Okay.
And they said the image depicts Lord Krishna with a cat's head dancing on the head of a snake demon, Agusura, a popular episode from Sagmeister's childhood. The band had been unaware of this source of artwork, and the record company apologized and changed the artwork to the revised version.
Good for them.
Which is kind of interesting because it's basically like it's kind of like the Leonardo da Vinci thing. Yeah. Aerosmith have only one #1 single. Can you guess which one it is?
Walk and Talk This Way?
No.
Danny's Got a Gun? No.
Okay. His daughter and Bruce Willis were in the movie.
Oh, what was Liv Tyler in with him? I forget, but I've seen it.
Armageddon.
Was that it?
Yeah. So I Don't Want to Miss the Thing was the
Yeah. I know.
Now, it's interesting, Ian. You'll get a kick out of this. They released their first album, Aerosmith, on the same day Bruce Springsteen released his first album, Greetings from Ashbury Park.
Wow, that's interesting, eh? That's how far back they go.
And unfortunately, his album was a little bit better at that time. Aerosmith has made cameo appearances in The Simpsons, Wayne's World, and Be Cool.
Yeah.
They were the first band to appear on Moe's stage in The Simpsons, which is kind of interesting. They also appeared in 1978's Sgt. Pepper Lonely Hearts Club Band as the Future Villain Band. You remember that, the movie?
Yeah, it was unwatchable, but they did a really good version of Come.
It was unwatchable.
It's just a horrible movie with the Bee Gees and Peter Frampton, but they did a great version of Come Together.
Aerosmith was inducted in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001 by none other than Robert Ritchie, who is known as Kid Rock. I like to throw those things in there. They have their own roller coaster at Disney's Hollywood Studios in Orlando, Florida, called the Rock and Roller Coaster.
Okay.
Actually, I took that with my brother.
Yeah.
Ray Tabano, original member of the band, apparently he's the one that was designed the famed Aerosmith Wings logo.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So he designed the logo. Joey Kramer came up with the name. Aerosmith is the first band who were allowed to sign on the Walk of Fame. They were allowed to sign.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. Interesting. They have had a hit in the top 40 in 4 decades. Brad Whitford's first gig with Aerosmith was the Savage Beast in Vermont. Like you had covered, Joey Kramer was the one that came up with the name.
You're right.
During the 1977 tour, Aerosmith looked into using the plane that ended up being the one that crashed later that year, killing members of Lynyrd Skynyrd.
Yeah.
Ultimately, the tour crew deemed to not be adequate enough for them to use. So,
Wow.
Yeah. Here's something interesting. 7 facts about Dream On.
Okay.
Here we go. The music was inspired by classical composers, Bach and Chopin.
Yeah, I heard about that.
The song came together in a house in Foxborough.
Do you know it?
The lyrics bottle Aerosmith's early determination.
Okay.
Dream On is the debut of the real Steven Tyler.
Yeah.
And for years I thought it was Joe Perry that sang that song.
Really?
Yeah. Someone told me there was a song that's a big hit that Joe Perry sang, and they said it was very early on into their career. So
It always reminded me a bit of Stairway to Heaven, like that kind of big overproduced ballad thing going on.
Yeah.
That's their Stairway to Heaven.
it's a damn good song.
Great song.
Joe Perry didn't think the song was rock and roll. He didn't think it was a rock and roll
Well,
song.
it's a ballad. So.
Yeah. Dream On bloomed with a second chart wind. And it's also a Slim Shady sample. So in other words, Eminem used it in...
Yeah, I can see that.
And the last thing to end off this beautiful show, things to know about Aerosmith. Well, the band formed in 1970 in Boston. Their self-titled debut album was released in 73. The group was, yes, indeed, inducted into Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 2001. Aerosmith performs at halftime of Super Bowl 35 on January 28, 2001. Interesting. Steven Tyler, lead singer since the band's formation, is the oldest of the band members, having turned 76 in March of 2024.
There you go.
He's older than Ozzy.
A bit, yeah.
2 years. It freaked me out. Aerosmith has won 4 Grammy Awards in its 50-plus years, so I guess one per decade-ish.
So, yeah.
1 every 15 years. The band's first #1 hit came from the movie soundtrack I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, which is Armageddon. In 2020, they celebrated their 50th anniversary. Aerosmith have sold more than 150 million albums around the world. They produce genre-defining music videos such as Amazing, Crazy, Jane's Got a Gun, Living on the Edge, and Love in an Elevator. So these guys produce those videos.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I know that.
They launched an extravagant record-shattering global tours. The band has broken numerous boundaries, including become the first rock band with a massive commercially successful hip-hop collaboration with Run DMC.
True.
Walk This Way. Again, it goes back to they revived their career.
Yeah, they kept going.
The first hard rock band to appear during a Super Bowl halftime show in their 2001 performance. And in 1999, Aerosmith became the first band to have their own themed attraction at Disney World in Florida, and then later on in Paris with the launch of the Rock and Roll roller coaster starring Aerosmith. And I took that ride with my brother when we went to Disney.
Do you go through like a really big pair of lips or something? Or how does it?
Something weird about it. I got to go back. But
my God.
That's what I have about the boys from Beantown.
Everything you wanted to know, we were afraid to ask.
Now you know.
Now you know. Thanks very much. Excellent.
Well, that is it. You got anything you want to add?
No, I don't, except we hope all the listeners out there have, experienced the Aerosmith vibe, and throw on their second album and see what you take from it.
Oh, Toys in the Attic, you want them to throw on?
Yeah, I think maybe Toys in the Attic. Anyway, it's on Spotify. You can get all these things now. It's it's a good place to start. Maybe the top place to start.
Yeah, or YouTube. Well, I'm Ferris Kennedy signing off.
I'm Dr. Ian Clark. Thanks for listening.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Au revoir.